My name is Rashiriti Ghosh. I am the assistant editor of a magazine called The Banking and Finance Post and Elets CIO, which is a part of Elets Technomedia, which is an 18-year-old B2B in organization that is into publishing magazines, news portals, and it organizes a lot of conferences in India and across the world. We've been connecting lives through innovation and connecting leaders and bridging the gap between our viewers and our speakers. So today we are here to host yet another insightful, discussion, which is a part of third national CIO virtual conclave powered by Denodo. And for this fireside conversation, we have with us Mr. Shabib Momin. He is the managing director and chief technology officer from Zenga TV. And the topic of the fireside chat today is exploring the digital transformation in M&E industry. So, as we all know that we are in between uncertain times and across industries, changes, transformations, transitions has been happening, and media and entertainment industry is no different. So there's a shift in demand patterns of consumers because they are now actively involved in various digital platforms, wanting for different kind of content. The engagement is high, the change in behavior is dynamic, and the content created around news and the passion to build more powerful brands through news is high. So today, Mr. Shabir will help us understand the same through his years of experience, and I welcome Mr. Shabir to the screen. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Shabir. So, welcome to the conversation today.
Thank you, Rashi. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Elets Media, for having me here. And greetings to everybody. And I hope we have a session where we could share some information of the very extremely fast changing landscape, both from work, from client, and many other aspects that we went through, especially the last 2 years. Before that, it was a very predictable, uh, growing landscape, but last 2 year has changed everything, and we had to, all entrepreneurs like us had to sit and rethink the whole landscape, the behavior, dealing with your own team, with external team, with clients, with everything. It's been an amazing experience, I would say, dealing and battling with the challenges that were presented to us in the last 2 years specifically.
Exactly. Yes, we are all going through this, and technology is the key. I was going through your LinkedIn profile, and we've been knowing you, following your work for a long time, and we see you are a technology enthusiast, and you believe in digitization and collaboration alliance. These are plus points. So I believe the conversation today would be digitally driven, and it's going to be very interesting for our viewers. So to begin with, we were talking about how digital transformation is changing every industry. So we would like to have your inputs on, how digital transformation is, changing media and entertainment industry. How would you like to give your insights on the same, since you're a digital enthusiast and you have, ground, uh, experience in the same.
Yeah. So I think broadly we can divide the media and entertainment industry into two camps. One who believe what is there is going to be there forever, and they don't look at change and transformation. And before they realize it, the ground actually shifts, and they might not be in that same cozy position that they have been enjoying for maybe years or decades. And there is another camp which always looks at innovation, technology, transformation, automation, optimization, process optimization. There are many, many legs that can be done. And media industry has had this myth that it's a creative industry, and technology cannot do much in the creative industry space. What a creative person can design, plan, think, and go out of box, technology cannot replace that, which is true in many ways. But a lot of things that are done repetitively, a lot of things that are done inaccurately, a lot of lacunas of this industry that has been there has now been bridged in many ways by technology. But there are, like any industry like us, but we run multiple brands in the media business. So we own Instant Bollywood, we own One Digital, we own multiple other brands in this space, and they all deal with different kinds of audience, different kinds of clients, different kinds of brands, different kinds of engagement, and also different age categories. Some are got a target audience of age of 45 and above. Some are 18 to 25. Some are 25 to 35. So different age categories. Now, when you look at this based on the audience, the engagement or the savviness towards technology adoption is also built in. I mean, some are still used to being on laptops, some are totally on mobile, some are only on mobile, some are used to using the phone but airing it on the TV screen. So there are many different ways of consumption now, and VR glasses and AR glasses coming into the mainstream, it's become a new dimension now. So one is that front. So you'll have to keep in mind that variable, which is to be always kept in mind, that how is my audience interacting with me, and how do I make the experience of the audience become better. And we've always been a very technology first kind of a company. We've built a lot of technologies over the period. We have a platform called One Access, which is actually an end-to-end system which connects to 58 global platforms today, including YouTube, Facebook, and many other, Spotify, iTunes, all of these guys. On the other hand, it connects to the creators who are the ones who are generating the content basically, and gives them and helps them in many ways to produce better, schedule better. We even help them in production planning, P&L planning, calendar planning. So it's very simplified tools that have been made. But to make a simplified tool, it takes a lot of effort. I mean, the simpler the tool, the more difficult it is to build. So we've made a lot of these, and the content that they publish goes into one platform, which is ours. And from there, they just click those dumb check boxes saying YouTube check, Facebook check, Insta check, this check, and they just publish, and content goes everywhere. And once the content reaches those platforms, it comes back and then gives you analytics, gives you insight. We run machine learnings to identify the high points of engagement, low points of engagement, whether you should promote this content or you should not promote this content, what is the potential organic view. A lot of things are done, and based on that, then revenue is earned. And then we also inform our creators which is your highest revenue making content, which is your highest engagement building content, which is your highest geography wise driven content, which content has more engagement to women, which content has more engagement to men's, and so many different aspects. Now, when the creator gets these kind of information in real time, or in a consolidated value for any particular asset, they get way more informed. They're not shooting in the dark anymore. And then they can do course correction as they move. I mean, if this week's video had a certain statistics which did not match what they expected, they will add elements in the next week's video so that they can capture those other target audiences also. And there are many aspects. There are triggers, there are informations, there are penetrations, there are so many things that we look at. Now, in addition to this, creators are usually not the technology savvy guys. They are not the guys who understand so many other aspects of things. Very rarely you find a creator who also understand. So they're dependent on editors, they're dependent on other technology guys to do transcoding for them, and so many other aspects, which again we've simplified in this way. I mean, it's the push of a button and you get things done. So we've created tons of tools like this. This particular platform, it has taken us almost 10 years in building, and which is what it stands today. Now, similarly, if I look inwards, which is my team and my organization or the companies that we run, we've always been very automation oriented from the very beginning. A lot of our things were already automated. We had roaming profiles already in place. So when COVID hit, yes, it was more a cultural shock to people rather than from a technology preparedness point of view. I mean, we had almost a similar experience that we gave them while they're sitting home and working. For example, we moved a lot of our edits to cloud. We moved a lot of other things to cloud, which were already there, but people were used to using the traditional formats. They loved using their own desktops and all of that. And when we moved them to cloud, the experience changed, but adaptation also happened. which I feel is almost like a boon in our case, because a lot of things that we were trying to push people to start using or go into that new generation uh, always comes. I mean, people always come with resistance, right? People don't like changes so quickly. No matter the world how fast it is changing, the adoption is much slower. So this kind of pushed that adoption much faster, which helped us. In fact, like everybody else in the first 1 year, we first 8-10 months we lost tons of revenue, tons of year. We were at the bottom of the stack like everybody else. But what we did differently was, one, we didn't fire anybody, we didn't deduct anybody's salary. We just told everybody that assume that your salary is deducted to 50% like everybody else, which means you have to do double the work. And they kind of understood and acknowledged that what we are trying to do for them by not deducting any salary, and they all put in a lot of efforts, which helped us do 150% of revenues compared to the previous year, because the last 4 months jump bounced us back. And then the year after, we are already 3x of our previous year's revenue. So the efforts always come handy. So, and I think, while some of the people in the industry who were very traditional, did not have technology adoptions and all of that, they were left with no choice, and that's what they did, was they basically let go people. They reduced the workforce, they cut the cost, they had to let go offices, because they knew that they don't have the time and bandwidth to do transitioning, and they have left with no other choice but to reduce cost for survival. So they did that. In the process, they let go a lot of good people, because it takes a lot of time to build a good team. I mean, you have to work with so many people for so many years to build a team, and you just let them go, and you can never reset it back and bring it back. They are not robots, they are humans, end of the day. So we got benefited in many ways because of a little bit of forward thinking, I would say, or our love for technology and advancement that we always wanted to do, helped us sail through in this process. And we've really gained a lot in this.
Thank you so much for giving us insights on the strategies and the innovation behind your brand and building it as a brand day by day. It actually takes a lot of effort in doing that. You as a leader spoke about, how you're motivating people not by not cutting salary, but helping them understand the crucial time and need of their hard work, which, for a team, you need the entire team to work so that a brand can be built. So, kudos to the work that you're doing, and the result shows that, you are getting good amount of growth, and hopefully it'll be, adding more to the growth story that you're already uh, going through. So, taking
Rashmi,
this
the
forward.
simple formula we used was that one choice was to put in pain some few hundred people who are working with us, because you're cutting everybody's salary, or just absorb the pain with one person, me and or maybe my co-founder, right? And we figure out that, okay, fine, we'll use our reserves, we'll take it to the last minute of wherever we can last, and then see. And luckily, God's been on our side. We bounced back. Team realize the value that we are trying to give them by not doing. I mean, they were literally bragging with other people that, oh, your salary is cut, mine is not. So, and that kind of pride gave them a lot more closeness to the organization. They realized the value, and they were a little more, I would say, open to adapting technologies, open to working harder. That's what changed, and I think that culture change really makes a lot of difference.
I truly agree with that because they've shown a lot of effort in adapting to the change, and you as a leader also help them by motivating them, being with them on their side. You have shown a lot of strength in your team and confidence in your team. So moving on, the next question would be, you spoke about all the transformation, the changes that happen fortnightly. So, what digital themes do you think will define the evolution of media industry in particular? Not just today, but over the decades, because things are changing very fast, and a lot of new things are coming. Several things are now obsolete. So, what do you think? What will define? What themes will define?
I think getting into the virtual reality space. So why this is one phase of being analog to digital, right? That phase was decades back. We've crossed that bridge. Now we are the whole world is predominantly digital. I mean, even TV is digital now, because all done through satellites and internet and The streaming, news, reporting, everything has become internet based now. So everything is digitized in many ways. But the real transformation when we say digitized is when you blend the virtual and real world together. And that's what is going to happen very soon. I mean, it's already happening in many small pockets. We have a front running organization called Holosuit in that, which is in the metaverse space, which is in the virtual reality, augmented reality space. We already do a lot of projects and a lot of functions and businesses in that space, whether it is gaming, it is virtual gaming, it's human physical body motion based gamings. We do military training, we do a lot of other stuff in that space, and we are also building the world's best humanoid robot, and we are in the finalist of a championship which is happening globally, and we are in the finalists now, so we hopefully will win that, and if that happens we'll end up owning the world's best humanoid robot. But in addition to that, this transformation of the media industry, if you look at it, uh, everything was done very old styled till just maybe 5 years back. In the last 5 years, the transformation has been very, very significant, specifically the COVID period, where digital avatars, metaverse, virtual world, things happening in the virtual world. Uh, I mean, almost 2 decades back, there was a company called Second Life, which was before time. It was like 20 years before time. But that's what is coming into reality now, which is a lot of things will happen in the virtual world now. A lot of things will happen in augmented reality now. Like we already, under our HoloSuit business, we already do education in augmented reality. So you can be in classroom, you can be at home, the teacher can be in classroom, could be at home, or could be a different location, and you're all present virtually in one room, and you're doing augmented education there. You're being able to show things which were never possible before. I mean, imagine bringing in the whole solar system in front of you in a holographic projection, expanding it like what happens in the movies in Iron Man and all of that. You're being able to do that in real life, and we are rolling out this into 22,000 schools in India. This augmented reality education, which is existing syllabus but very visual. We have virtual reality, augmented reality, chemistry classes, farming education, anatomy educations around things. There are hundreds of possibilities, right? Because virtual world is as elastic as your imagination is. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can dive into a volcano in virtual world. So there are many things. I think that's going to become a very big mainstream game going forward. A lot of creativity which has been done as a combination of human and creativity put together will now turn into avatars and creativity put together. There are some great use cases. I mean, some of the top creators of Japan are actually not humans, they're characters. So the characters becoming celebrities is the next new thing that's going to happen in future, which is obviously backed by humans and human creativity. But a lot of this thing will change. The way we see interaction, engagement will also change significantly. We are also in the space era now where things are moving into space. We just announced yesterday our partnership with Space Hero, where we are doing a global reality show where the winner of the reality show will actually go to space for 10 days, and it's a $155 million ticket that we are buying from NASA to send this one person to space, one every year. So we'll do this reality show every year for the next 35 years, and we will send this one person to space who will physically go to space, live there, and we will live stream that 24/7 for those 10 days. So there are many things happening in many dimensions, which are just 5-7 years back was unimaginable. I mean, you couldn't have thought that something will happen like this. People thought it will happen, but maybe 2 decades later. Nobody thought that it'll accelerate to this speed. But what COVID did was, I think, just transformed the whole thing. I mean, maybe 20 years later, people will say that pre-COVID era was like a stone age, and post-COVID era is what the real age is. I think that's what is going to happen, and we are living that change as we speak right now.
It's true. We've been interacting with a lot of leaders across industry. Everybody has the same view that things that we were thinking that will take more than 5+ years are happening.
Has
So that's
happened
what.
already. Yeah.
Yeah. So happened. That has happened. Yes, and we are adding more to it. So talking about digitization, talking about the changes that the uncertain time has brought. So we can say that is an opportunity in disguise. So, how technology, in your view, can infuse consistent and reliable revenue streams for ME companies? You spoke about the growth that you have seen during this period with the efforts that you have put in, your team have put in. So, what do you think will add to it? As a company, what would be your strategies and how
You know,
technology will be?
the whole industry or the economics works in the media space specifically, works around brands, right? A lot of this thing is built either by people paying money for entertainment to consume entertainment or content, or there's a brand who's sponsoring for it. A significant portion of it is brands, because brand wants to reach out to consumers, and this is a win-win situation. Consumer does not want to pay for content, so you basically, it's a win-win situation. So a major chunk of this industry is driven by brands and the money that the brand pours into this industry. Now if you look at that, the way of interaction for brands are changing. And what was happening was, pre-COVID, a lot of traditional mindseted brands, just as a part of resistance to change, or too difficult to adopt a new thing, or people normally say, यार वो टेक्नोलॉजी है मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. That's like the common thought of mind barrier that people had, right? That I don't know what's happening, and where is that brick and mortar, where do I see my hoarding. So all those traditional thoughts kind of disappeared, just evaporated. And that whole industry which was slowly moving in, I mean, I remember when we launched Zenga TV in 2009, everything was so futuristic at that point of time. Imagine doing IPL on a tiny mobile phone and watching it, where I was thrown questions कि इस पे तो ball भी नहीं दिखता है. So because the screen is so small, how do I know, and why will people watch it, why not on a TV, why not on this? I said, what about people on move? So those were the kind of crazy questions that used to come that time. Now it's a part of our life. I mean, if it is not on the phone, it's not there. It's as simple as that. We introduced the concept of in-stream video advertising in the and contextual, which means that Rashi will see a different advertisement, whereas Shabir will see a different advertisement, which was never thought of, because TV, you throw one ad and everybody from the lowest of the strata to the highest of the strata watches the same ad. I mean, so it doesn't matter. So those concepts changed over the last decade and a half, slowly. But the real shift, the big dollars, I mean, digital was always the setup which used to get the leftovers. I mean, whatever was spent on TV, physical prints, and all of that, whatever is left over is what was sent to digital. 5% grew to 10%, grew to 20%, but it had not surpassed 25% of the industry. But the COVID era just flipped the can, and everything kind of became digital, and it was a wow effect for the brands, because brands now started enjoying it. It's like a kid with a new toy. Then now they have realized that, oh my god, I have to pay less and get more, and I'm also getting so much inside, which I was only looking at the TRP reports and feeling happy that, okay, I'm putting money on this channel which is a TRP, which 10 years later we realized was a scam. So that's what you try to get, the real insight, real engagement. And here you are not only just throwing an advertisement or a product or service, you're also being able to interact with the engage with the customers, get feedback. Brands are worried now that if they throw a bad product or a bad packaging to the market in shame of promotion advertising, they will get a lashback. So brand consciousness has gone up. People who represent the band, their consciousness has also gone up. Now the creators and the celebrities are interfering with the brand creatives and saying, no, I don't want to do a video like this, I think it's not going to go with the audience, my fan. So creators have now become the representative of the fans. They're like the new leaders. They are saying, my fans would not like a video like this, my fans would not like a promotion like this, they don't want to be slapped with a new ad, I would like to do it this way, I would like to have it this way. And it's now become a collaborative affair. So I think a lot has changed, because we are all sitting at home, we are not seeing what has changed. But when we finally come out of this cave, and in few months, we will certainly see that the world we left has changed totally, and we didn't even know about it.
Yes, it is actually amazing. Everybody has their own take. Every age group has its own take on digital media. be it young, old, even a toddler. I have seen my daughter has her take on,
Yeah,
social
absolutely,
media content.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
So moving forward, we spoke about technology. We spoke about how collaborators, content creators are now deciding the way content has to be given to people. How customers are now the center point of all the offerings that media and entertainment industry is giving us. And every age group has their own take. They have their own choices, and actually, media and entertainment industry is fulfilling that with their diverse offerings. So, moving forward, how do you think how companies are, what are the companies doing to better understand their users and evolve? You spoke about collaboration, and also as a company, what exactly, would be your strategy if I ask you that? What are you doing to, you know, help user evolve with their digital experiences and change their expectations over the time? So how are you evolving them with futuristic technologies and offerings?
You know, this is so strange. I mean, if I look at 10 years back, I think the only evolution that we were looking at is how do we move from 720p to 1080p, and how do you go to 2K and 4K and 8K? I think that's the only technology advancement we were looking at in the TV industry, per se. If you look at the digital industry, it's so differently diverse, right? One, we are not locked in with a 24 hours programming plan, right? Second is we are infinite in number. We are cross geography. We don't have limitations. We have so many languages. So innovation and technology changes are happening everywhere. I think from the audience side of it, or the consumer side of it, there's a lot of change happening. There's a lot of subtitling happening. There is a lot of multilingual real-time dubbing happening. There's technology innovation which is being able to introduce uh, robotic voice which is very human-like to do dubs. There is an automated subtitling system that has come in. There's an automated switching of screen size happening. There is a 2K to 4K transition happening. There are many things happening now. That's one part of it. The second part of it is, if you look at commerce, like we run a merchandising company called Merch Pay, for our creators, for their fans. We are one of the only guys who are integrated with YouTube on that. So if you go to, let's say, one of our creators like Prajakta or Yuvraj or somebody else, the merch that they sell is integrated with their YouTube channel. Now, while I'm watching the content, at the bottom of it, I'm seeing the merch. I can just click on it and buy it, right? Seamless experience. Like, I love a person, I want to hold something valuable of that person, I can instantly go and do it. And we are now going to launch a lot of those things. So we are launching a series of NFTs now, which is going to be yet to be announced. We have not announced. We're launching a lot of thing in the creator ecosystem in the metaverse space. There are a lot of other engagements that are coming in. Now, our we are a creator first organization, from our media business point of view. So our first responsibility is, what do we do to help our creators create better content, reach more people, keep their fans happy, and how do we make their life easier? So now our creators are doing edits on the fly. Our creators doing publish on the fly. They don't have to go to 50 platforms and upload videos. They just do it in one place. Their life of production, shoot, management, delivery is all smoothened in one place. They don't need to go and sign contracts with 20 people. They just sign up with us, and we get them merchandising revenue, YouTube revenue, Facebook revenue, Insta revenue, Twitter revenue, NFT revenue, so many other verticals that whatever they can make money from, right? Because the creator economy, the creator commerce business is what we are looking at overall. And we've been one of the oldest company in this space now, with so many years of experience in this space. So we understand, we have a lot of data. We do machine learning and data mining to understand what works and how it works, how which a creator with a lot of fans sometimes might not be the best fit for merch, might be a better fit for NFT, might not be a better fit for NFT, might be a better fit for merch. So we learn that by true data, because for a technology guy, something that is sacrosanct and true is the facts from data, because data never lies, right? So when you look at the data and you do the extrapolation, you do the prediction mapping, you do the modeling, you realize what works well. There is always an error percent of 5, 10%, 20%, but when it comes to human planning or a gut call, usually the error percentage could be much higher. So I think that's the direction it is moving in. It's becoming very data driven market now, which is great. I still give 30% to my creative teams to take their gut calls, because humans still have that gut call for their uncharted territory, something that you don't have data for. Humans know from the, they can't prove it on a table or a paper or on a whiteboard, but they will be able to take a call which works magically. So we do a combination of all of that, and our goal is very simple, that uh, we empower our creators to scale like crazy, and reach like crazy, and they just need to focus on what they do the best, which is create content, engage users. We do everything else for them. I mean, we find all corners of making monetization for them, keeping the fans happy, keeping the engagements going, creating that wow effect. We try to achieve that.
So as they say, this is so lit. It is actually very lit, you know. You must be watching someone wearing a merchandise and you want to say that I really want to buy this. I don't know where to buy. So before you think, the video actually has a link where you can click and buy it. But it's so clever to do such things where people actually are connecting with you. They don't think that a star is selling a soap and I have to buy it. It's, yeah, somebody like me is using that. So, you
Yeah.
know, this is going to be real. This is going to be nice. So it's actually very, very, you know, thoughtful and like
Imagine you seeing a billboard of a great product and a shop right below that, right? So it's almost the same analogy, right? That you saw the billboard, you like the product, you kept in your mind that I'm going to go home and buy it, or I'll go to that shop and buy it, but you forget on the way somewhere. So you lose an opportunity to do business. Here, the convenience is so much now in today's world, that you are being able to connect one dot to the other and many others to be able to just keep rolling. And wherever the journey falls off, it falls off. I mean, at least you're giving the opportunity for the customer or the consumer to be able to interact. Earlier it was deprived in many ways.
that's true, you know, and I like I said, it is across age group. Everybody has the same thing that I want to buy that. Yeah, where to use, you know, where to get a link or this. You know, if I want to buy a policy, where to buy this. So you know that actually helps, you know, to
You know,
save
you'll
a
be
lot of.
surprised. I have a 9-year-old who loves toys like any 9-year-old would do. He's watching video on YouTube. He sees a toy and the toy unwrapping and all of that, and he sees a link of Amazon below that. He clicks on it, goes to Amazon, puts it into the cart, and then comes and just tells me that I have put it in the cart. It's up to you to buy it or not. Now I am being bombarded with this, and obviously I feel morally guilty after saying five no's. Maybe I'll buy one. So effectively, he's buying way more than he should otherwise be buying. But just because of that convenience, he's being able to compel me to do that. And that's a great brand tactic to be able to influence to buy faster or more.
So actually, age group is something like I was saying, my toddler is 2.8, and then she also does the same thing. You know, she sees her own thing on the video, and
They're
she just wants to
self-sufficient.
say, Mama, Mama. So she wants to buy that. She knows that here is it. You are going to buy this. This is the
Yeah,
channel you have to use. So I don't know. So technology and the brain behind it. It's not just technology. The brain that is doing, which is a human brain, like you said, the
yeah,
creative brain, the guts, which actually works. So it's a very good blend of brain and machine. You know,
yeah,
man and machine, which is doing it.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it's interesting, you know, very, very nice to hear that, you know, you actually said a lot of interesting things which are happening we don't realize, and there's a lot of effort behind it. So
yeah,
moving forward, you know, so in today's hyper competitive market, as we all are aware, you know, having a great content, like you said, is not just enough. You know, we're already talking about it. So and you know, so what do you think? How technology is being leveraged to create the right content and present in the current context? We have content creators, we have right technology, but a right blend is very important so that what I need, I get that, you
yeah.
know, not what you want to push. So how do you, you know, it's going to be very this is very centric question for, because we were talking about this all throughout this conversation.
Yeah.
This is something very on point. So what do you do?
So I think there are two parts to it. One is the creator side, that what should I create? What is good? Earlier, what used to happen is we used to create a content and throw it out in the market, and it's too late because you have 20 episodes, all of them are shot. There's nothing to change. You can't change the backdrop, you can't change the sketch, you can't change anything in that. So either it's a whitewash or it's a hit. That's what happens end of the day. But in today's world, what happens is you get feedback very quickly. You get the response very quickly. If it is a 20 minutes video, you know what part of the video had an increase in viewership and what part had a drop off, what part the engagement happened. You could actually trigger a lot of actions within the videos to be able to see the engagement and reactions. I mean, there is a part of the video where you can say, write on my comment below what about something, right? And when you see that how many comments were actually published immediately after that part of the segment of the video, which is let's say the 10th minute, you know that the audience is interactive. And being able to draw insights out of all of this and being able
Mhm.
to create interactivity is what becomes the key. That was not there earlier. I think it has changed significantly. Now it's become a very so when we moved from the TV era to digital era, everything that mattered was views. We do billions of views on a monthly basis on all of these platforms, but the views are not the important things in our mind. We've always focused on engagement, that how many people are interacting with us, how many are liking our videos, how many are commenting, how many are sharing, how many are negative commenting, how many are negative reactions. We need to know that, because just hearing the good things about us is it spoils you. You need to know the bad things also, so that you can improve and improvise on them on the next one. So getting that real-time statistics and being able to have tools to draw those statistics and give you a juice and insight of it, of what needs to be changed and what trends have to be changed and what's working, what's not working, I think it's valuable. And that's what we try to bring into our creators in many ways, to be able to draw those insights and draw value out of it. The second thing that we feel on the creator side or on the fan side, I think the sense of convenience that we've created, and sense of a voice that we've created, that if I'm watching something and I don't like it, earlier I used to just watch it just like a dumb person. Now I have an opinion to that. I can give my response to that. I can like it, dislike it. There's so many aspects to it. If I want to engage further on that, let's say it's a product promotion video, or it's a product revealing video, or it's a product information video, and I want to finally, I looked at the product and I got convinced and I want to buy it now. I don't have to go many steps away. I don't have to go find a shop which sells that. It's right there. That sense of convenience of conversion is very high. Now, when it comes to pure entertainment, so look at the technology that has changed in Uber, in Netflix, in Amazon Prime, and so many other places, even YouTube and all of that. They start keep monitoring of what kind of content this person is watching. Even if we are nameless as a user, they just keep profiling us of what kind of content I'm watching. So if I'm watching a scientific science fiction movie all the time, they will start proposing me more science fiction content. If I am an Indian but watching Korean content, suddenly my feed will start having more Korean content to it, because they are also wanting to give me more opportunities for discovery. Because if you look at the whole world of content, we are talking about millions of content dropped every day. What is important, what is not? Earlier you had only 24 hours to do things, right? And 22-minute slots for each. Now you have millions of content pieces being dropped on an everyday basis. How do I find what I want to watch? How do the creator who's putting it, or the platform who's servicing it to me, find out what I would want to give? Because context has become very important. So that curation has really changed. I mean, I'll give you an example of how the machine learning and AI system works there. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed or not. If you take an Uber to a new city, and depending on the time you land, 99, if you've traveled before to that city, 99% of the time, the first choice that you get in the drop down list is always going to be accurate. Like if I land in Bombay, it'll always show me, if it is, I'm landing in the morning, it'll show me the office. If I'm landing in the evening, it'll show me the hotel, and the hotel that I usually stay. And that's the context that is there. And if I'm going to US 3 times a year, even though such as low frequency, every city that I land, it will give me that preference, because it remembers me and profiles me and keep. And that's, in a lot of people say it's encroachment into your personal life, but I think it's a lot of convenience. We are getting addicted to that convenience, and we want that convenience. We don't. I mean, imagine if Amazon did not remember what you bought last time and did not recommend it to you. You had to go looking for that thing, and you forgot the brand name of that product. It'll be a nightmare. You will be wasting 20 minutes extra looking for that brand. Just that convenience is an addiction now. I think that's the space which has become very, very popular now.
Exactly. So, you spoke about technology and the great collaboration between technology and content to offer what we want. Like you said, that if you shop something on Amazon, you would always want to go back and find out. For maybe, for example, a baby product that you're sticking to and you're not able to find it when you want it. So that's difficult. So
Yeah.
Mr. Mumnya, we spoke about a lot today. We spoke about technology in media and entertainment industry, which is dynamically changing every day because the content that we are used to has changed over the years, and it will change, very frequently because we all have different tastes now, and with age, with new offerings, with the changing environment, we are now used to convenience. We are now used to different stuff, and kudos to your team and to you that you as a leader, you're driving a lot of innovation and change and helping them understand what their customers want from them. So thank you for this conversation today, and thank you for your valuable time. And we wish you all the best with your future vision. And we hope that we would get to see more innovative products from your brand. And that's it from my end. I would like to request my team to show us the appreciation certificate from our end. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this conversation today. And we would like to present this certificate to you. Thank you
Thank you.
today for your
Thank
time.
you,
Thanks a
Rajni.
lot. Thanks.
Thanks to the whole Elets team. Thank you for having me. It was a good
Mhm.
session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.